listeners. There is a topic for the today's lecture is basically free energies, endogenic and exergonic reactions. Here is biochemistry, which is a code having BP 203T, and here we have discussed about the free energy, and this is a part of bioenergetics, which is also present in the last part of unit first in biochemistry. So, what is bioenergetics and how they can affect in our biological system, and how energy is evolved, and how it is used in the body. So, we are discussed here we have to discuss here about the biogenetics and their use. So, what is biogenetics? As its name says, biogenetics. So, biogenetics is the energies in biological system. Energy in the biological system, that mean in the biological system, if there is any reaction occurs in these reactions, if there is use of energy or production of energy, and how these energies are reacted and they can be stored in the body, these are come under the bioenergetics. So, what is the definition of bioenergetics? It is a quantitative study of the energy transductions which occurs in the living cells and in nature under the chemical processes underlying these transductions. Means whenever there is any type of metabolism reaction occurs in the body, these metabolism of any type, these are having carbohydrate metabolism, lipid metabolism, and protein metabolism or nucleic acid metabolism. So, whenever there is a production of energy or there are uses of energy, so we can determine how this energy can be evolved and how they can be utilized is come under this bioenergetics. So, the study of energy in the living system, in either in the environment or in the plant or animals, and how they can utilize them. So, this is the energy which is required by all the organism. This is the energy which is used by all the organism, and it can be kinetic energy or it can be a potential energy, how it can evolve and how it can used. So, the energy of motions, energy of heat or light energy, we all discussed here. So, bioenergetics is the energy determination or taking the information regarding the energies evolved or used in the biological system. So, these bioenergetics are basically concerned with the energy involved in the making and breaking of the chemical bonds. These chemical bonds are used for the making of the any type of substance or break down the chemical bond for the formation of the small metabolite from a larger molecule, and found in the biological organism. As like that, when we are taking any type of diet and we are we are taking food and it going towards the our stomach, and after that the metabolism of that particular food occurs. So, at that condition the bond breakage and the energy evolved is determined in our in this topic. So, the role of energy is fundamental to such biological process, because energy is required for the normal functioning of our body. So, it is used for the normal functioning of our brain, lungs, liver, and all the cells present in the body. So, it is ability to control the energy from a variety of metabolic pathways, and is a property of living organism. So, how they can evolve in the metabolic process, and how they can convert it to the another form, and so that body can utilize these type of energy, we have to discuss here. Normally, our life is dependent on the energy transformation. Living organisms survive because only of the exchange of energy within and without. So, energy is only just convert from one form to another form. So, whenever there is formation of bond, energy is required, and when the bond is broken, the energy is evolved. So, these energy is just transformation of one form to another form. So, it refer to the amount of internal energy in an thermodynamic system, so that it is available to perform the work. So, the energy, what is energy? Energy is neither created and nor it we can destroy it, it just convert from one form to another form. So, in the body, whenever we are taking any type of food and when we metabolize that food and convert that food to different smaller particles, then the energy is evolved, how they can react and how they can convert into the another form, and how body can utilize this particular type of energy which is used here. So, we in this bioenergetics or in free energy, we have discussed this particular type of energy here. What is concept of free energy? What is free energy? How we can determine the free energy? So, we must subtract the energy lost in the increasing entropy of the system from the total entropy change in figure, the amount of energy left over available for useful work. What is the mean? What the mean is they are saying that the energy lost to increase the entropy of the system. Whenever there is increasing the entropy of the system, there is energy lost. So, the total energy change to figure out what the amount of energy left in available for the useful work, for doing the different type of work in the body. So, which is also known as by this formula delta G equals to delta H minus T delta S. Here delta S equals to the change in entropy and delta H equals to the change in the enthalpy, and T is the temperature here, and delta G equals the free energy. So, at equilibrium, at the time of equilibrium condition, the closed system here, the net, there is no change in the free energy, delta G is equal to 0 here, where the equilibrium. In equilibrium, delta G or the free change in free energy is equal to the 0, or here delta H equals to T delta S. So, this is the condition when the reaction is in equilibrium, delta H or change in enthalpy is equal to the temperature in Kelvin and then change in the entropy. What is the spontaneous and non-spontaneous reaction? As the name already says, spontaneous reaction which occurs naturally, and it favors the formation of product at specified condition like combustion of wood and fuel. We are no need of any type of energy for the combustion of wood or fuel, and here this is a just spontaneous reaction. It is occurs naturally, and we do not need any type of energy for this particular reaction. And in comparison to this spontaneous reaction, we are when having the non-spontaneous reaction, it is that reaction, it is just not favor the formation of product. It is not required for the formation of product here, because it is non-spontaneous reaction, because it is does not favor for the formation of product. So, in non-spontaneous reaction produce substantial amount of product at equilibrium, and it is responsible for the formation or release of free energy, which is what is free energy here? This is that free energy which is available to do work here. So, what is the main difference between the spontaneous and non-spontaneous reaction? In spontaneous reaction, there occurs naturally, we are no need of doing anything for these spontaneous reactions, they are just doing according to its condition. There are no need of any type of others factors attached with these things, like a combustion of wood or fuel. Whenever fuel is combustion or wood is heated, so there is no need of any other factor required here. In non-spontaneous reaction, they are having there are no need of formation of the product at the end, because they are not in favor of the formation of product at specified conditions. So, that like a photosynthesis, in photosynthesis the formation of food by the plants. So, in this condition there are plants are required for the formation of food. That is not a spontaneous reaction, that is the main thing, that is not a spontaneous reaction which is required for the formation of product here, and there is release in there is also release some free energy here. This free energy is enough for the available to do work, which energy is present here, or the release of free energy here which is required to available for doing work. What is kinetic energy? What is kinetic energy and what is potential energy? Kinetic energy, at its name already shows that it is that energy where a body for doing any type of motion as compared with their potential energy. This kinetic energy is used for the doing motion, doing something, doing their work, walking, any other thing, that jumping, they are doing exercises. So, kinetic energy is basically where the body possesses by the virtue of being in motion as compared with the potential energy. As compared to this kinetic energy, potential energy is possessed by the body which is having to position with relative to others, basically having the electric charge and other factors. So, the main difference between the potential energy and kinetic energy, that kinetic energy is basically dependent on the motion of the motion of, or being virtue of the comparison, it's doing any type of work, and its potential energy is basically in virtue of their positions, it is dependent on the electric charge. So, potential energy is basically dependent on the electric charge and kinetic energy is basically dependent on the motion. And now, what are endergonic reaction and what are exergonic reactions? In this endergonic reaction, as its name says, at the name says endergonic reaction, here if the chemical reaction which is required, chemical reaction needs or require the input of energy as compared to their releasing energy. When a chemical reaction require any type of energy, any type of energy as compared to their releasing of energy, so this energy is called these reactions are called as endergonic reaction. Here the net change in free energy is positive, because we are used energy here as compared to the releasing of energy. So, that is why the net change in this free energy is positive, and there is more energy present in the system at the end of the reaction as compared to their beginning of it. It means whenever there there is beginning of any reaction, the energy is less, and for the completion of reaction we required any type of energy here. So, energy is needed by the reaction, and whenever the energy is needed in the reaction, so the net change in the energy is positive. So, at the time of completion or end of the reaction, the energy having the more energy as compared to the starting of the reaction. So, endergonic reaction generally involve a gain in energy. Here there is a gain in energy. So, energy is supplied from outside source. Here energy is supplied from outside source in order to form a reaction. That means they need reaction, they need energy in comparison to formation of energy here. So, in this reaction, in the endergonic reaction, they generally resulted with the gain in the energy. The total system having the gaining of energy as compared to losing of energy, because we are taking energy from the outside and form up and making our reaction complete with the help of this energy. That is why there is gain of energy. So, there is, because energy is supplied from outside to this reaction in order for the reaction to occurs here. So, in this if are being the if it is seeing in the graph, in endergonic reaction, whenever the energy, free energy is very less in the starting of the reaction, and the reaction occurs, the energy is increases, and at the last it is the formation of product, which is the at the end when the product are formed. So, they are needed of energy here. and in comparison here endergonic reaction, in endergonic reaction here in the they are showing in the release energy stored in the food molecules. The more important function of endergonic reaction, they have to release energy stored in the molecule, and they are also helpfully allow molecules to survive without harvesting any all their energy directly from the sunlight. They does not need any type of formation of energy, they does need energy from the outside. Example of endergonic reaction, the formation of DNA and RNA, and the synthesis of proteins and fatty acid synthesis, they all needs energy or ATPs from the outside. What are exergonic reactions? In exergonic reaction, it is a spontaneous reaction, it is occurs naturally and they release energy to the surround, and that means the energy which is released here in the reaction, they do not need energy from the outside or the environment, they just release energy when the reaction occurs. There are the chemical bond formed from the reaction rate are stronger than broken by the reactant. So, those bonds are formed after the product formation are more stronger than those which are broken down in by the reactant. So, that the total free energy in of the system decreases, because the at the starting of the starting of the reaction increase the energy is increases, and when the reaction goes down the energy of the free energy is decreases here. So, there is change in the standard gives free energy in of any exergonic reaction is negative, because it is less than 0, because they are used by the it is given to the environment, energy is given to the environment by the reaction occurs when the bond broken, the energy is released. So, there is change in entropy which is increases. Yeah, whenever we have to look at that particular exergonic reaction, their randomness or disorder of the system increases, because they have released energy in their reaction, they have not used any type of reaction, they just release energy. So, they are because they are having spontaneous reaction. So, there does not need any type of outside energy here. So, the exothermic reaction here the formation of table salt NaCl or sodium chloride from the mixing sodium and chloride, combustion process and chemiluminescence means the light generation in any chemical reaction, and if the temperature of the surrounding increases, the reaction is exothermic. When there is any reaction occurs, then the temperature of the surrounding increases, then this reaction is exothermic reaction, or there is reactant having the increasing energy, and then when the reaction occurs increases, this it decreases the energy of the system. This is known as exergonic reaction. What is entropy here? Measuring the disorder of the system. What is the disorder of the system? Here entropy is the measurement of disorder in any system. There is any physical and chemical system having the lowest possible energy. Due to the second law of thermodynamics, there is the natural tendency of any system to move the direction of the maximum disorder or randomness. So, it is spontaneous process involved in the increase in the entropy here. So, for any type of given substance, there is compound having the dense and they are moving in the any type of solution, and they are increasing the entropy according to the change in the property of that particular compound. So, in a given substance, entropy of the gas is always greater than the entropy of liquid or solid. They are solid having the lowest entropy, and they are liquid having the more than entropy more than solid, but the less than the gaseous form, and when is the gas having the most increasing condition of the entropy by the gas. So, gas having the highest entropy as compared to lipids, and lipid had the high entropy as compared to solid. What is enthalpy? Enthalpy is the sum of the internal energy here. What is entropy? Enthalpy is the sum of the internal energy plus a PV term, pressure, volume is here, and the equation used in the chemistry is delta H equal to delta U and P delta V, where delta U is the change in the internal energy of the system, and the P delta U equals to the pressure volume work. P delta V is the pressure volume work here, which is used for the pressure volume determination here. What is Gibbs free energy? This Gibbs free energy is the basically change in the maximum amount of energy which is coupled to another process to do useful work, which is used. This is the maximum amount of energy. This is the change in the maximum amount of energy that can be coupled for the formation of useful work or needed work. So, delta H equal to delta H, delta G equal to delta H into T, which is the temperature in Kelvin, and delta S. So, these are the change in entropy, enthalpy, temperature in kelvins. If delta G is negative, that is, it is spontaneous process or exergonic reaction, because the system lose its free energy, and it is when positive, then it is non-spontaneous reaction and it is endergonic reaction. What is law of thermodynamics? Everyone knows what is the thermodynamics process. The energy neither we created nor it be destroyed. So, it is can converted into one form to another form. Thus, the energy of the closed system is remain constant. In any other physical or chemical change, the total output of energy of any universe remains constant, although the form of energy not change. It is just convert from one form of energy to another form of energy, and there is chemical process here. So, in govern the total chemical process in all biological system. When there is any metabolism of occurs in any biological system, there is formation of their breakage of bond, and these breakage of bond release the energy. This energy is useful for the formation of biological important work in the body. So, this is the just energy which is converted from one form to another form. What is second law of thermodynamics? When energy is transferred, law of entropy, there will be the less energy available at the end of the reaction, or as compared to the starting or the beginning. Due to the entropy, when there is measure of disorder in any closed system, all of the available energy will not be useful for the organism. Energy measure increases as the energy is transferred. As the energy entropy is increases as the energy is transferred, and in all the natural processes, entropy of the universe increases when the natural process going on. And what is the redox potential? Redox potential is a specific indicator of the extent of which the oxidizing as well as reducing power of the substance, which has both reducing and oxidizing ingredients, has achieved the equilibrium process. It is basically used for the indicator of electrochemical reactivity of the substance and environmental conditions. It is basically predicting corrosion protection of the various substances, and also these systems having the oxidation and reduction process. Redox is the shortened form of the term which is used for the oxidation and reduction. So, what is the redox potential? It is just measure of intensity of oxidizing and reducing power, which is basically dependent on the electrochemical balance here. What is oxidation potential? It is just measure the power of substance or system to adjust oxygen or remove hydrogen as well as to lose electrons. And what is reduction potential? Reduction potential just indicate the power to add hydrogen, lose oxygen or attract electrons. So, this is the oxidation potential, reduction potential, or in form it is redox potential. So, this is the just the overall description of free energies, redox potential, law of thermodynamics, etc. So, thank you.